All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back on the live stream with the docket, and the court is calling Robertson. First name is Darius. Case number SP 1221631. Darius Robertson, the charge is driver's license suspended. Count 2, driving an unregistered or untitled vehicle. And count 3, no insurance. All 3 matters are scheduled for trial. Mr. Darius Robertson, if you're in the virtual courtroom, please say your name for the record. Mr. Darius Robertson, could you please unmute yourself, Mr. Darius Robertson, and if you can connect with your video camera, would you do so at this time? And the same, thank you. Yes. Can you connect with your video, Mr. Robertson?
I am trying right now, Your Honor. I am trying. Trust me, I'm trying.
Okay. Mr. J. Rucker, case number SP 120748181. J. Anthony Rucker. The charge is drag racing. This is the date and time for trial for Mr. Rucker. Mr. Rucker, if you're in the virtual courtroom, please say your name for the record.
J. Rucker.
Thank you. Who's representing Mr. Rucker?
Good morning, Your Honor. Seth Carlson, P72313.
Thank you. And who's representing Mr. Darius Robertson?
Bob Zaranek for Mr. Robertson, Your Honor.
Thank you. Now, Mr. Zaranek and counsel for Mr. Rucker, Mr. Carlson,
Sure.
counsel for Mr. Rucker. How are we proceeding? The information that the court has is that the officer has failed to appear in these matters. Is there a motion, Mr. Carlson, for your client on behalf of?
Yes, Your Honor. We would motion to dismiss the case without prejudice.
All right, and
Same
Mr.
with Mr.
Zaranek?
Robertson, Your Honor.
All right, gentlemen, the court will dismiss both matters without prejudice for lack of a complaining witness. It means the people may bring these matters again. The court is merely dismissing them because the officer has failed to appear. Mr. Robertson, Mr. Rucker, did either of you postpone?
No, ma'am.
All right, then, if there are no questions, Madam Clerk, I don't know if there are any mandatory fees for either of them. Are there?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, then gentlemen, you are excused. You may leave the courtroom.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, and then I got a Mr. Clayton for Mr. Riggs. Mr. Riggs is having difficulty coming in.
He's in now, Judge.
He's in now? Okay. Mr. Riggs, is probably because you're in a moving vehicle.
I have to stop now, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
I was on my way to work. I'm sorry.
That's okay. All right. So the court is calling case number. Let me see if I can find Mr. Riggs. Oh, I see him. Thank you. U600-65921, Michael Riggs. The charge is offering to engage the services of another for an act of prostitution. This is the date and time for trial. Mr. Michael Riggs, if you're in the virtual courtroom, please say your name for the record.
Yep, Michael Paul Riggs.
Thank you, Mr. Riggs. Who's representing Mr. Riggs?
Good morning, Your Honor. Spencer Clayton appearing on behalf of Mr. Riggs, P number 77302.
Thank you, Mr. Clayton. How do you wish to proceed with Mr. Riggs?
Your Honor, the people made an offer to add a count of disorderly with a sentence agreement of 6 months probation on a delayed sentence with the understanding that Mr. Riggs would have to undergo STD testing. I did explain to Mr. Riggs that that HIV STD testing, the court would want to know that he got the test and not the results. And I do believe he wishes to take advantage of that offer and enter that plea today, Judge.
Thank you. And Officer Kalicki, this is your case, ma'am.
Yeah, yes, Your Honor, it is.
Officer Clicky, your name and badge number for the record, please.
Officer Sarah Clicky, badge number 3380, Detroit Police Department.
Thank you very, very much. You've heard what the offer has been that is made from the prosecutor. Are you all right with that offer, Officer Clicky? Any problem with that offer?
No, that offer is good, Your Honor.
Thank you, Madam Prosecutor. Did you wish to be heard?
Yes, for the record, Your Honor, Tamika Horn on behalf of the City of Detroit, P70303.
Thank you. And Mr. Riggs, is this the first time you've been charged with this offense, sir?
Yeah, but the other case was dismissed, Your Honor. The rest of the officer never showed up.
And Your
So-
Honor, it was a
so you
separate
talking-
charge. I did do a background that we are required to do in order to even make an offer. And yes, the other case was it was still this type of offense, but not the OTE portion.
Okay, okay. All right. Mr. Riggs, you've heard the representation of your lawyer. Sir, are you in agreement with that representation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Riggs, were you advised, sir, that you have the right to a trial?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, if you were to have a trial, it would normally take place inside of the 36th District Court. But because of the pandemic, the courthouse is closed to the public. And so you have agreed to participate on the Zoom technology today. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Riggs, did you have an opportunity to speak to your attorney about all of your rights?
Yes, I have.
Sir, did anyone threaten you, force you, or promise you anything in exchange for your plea?
Not at all, Your Honor.
Are you pleading guilty of your own free will?
Yes, Your Honor. I take full responsibility and I want to apologize.
Thank you, sir. You're pleading guilty because you are actually guilty then, correct?
Yes.
And Mr. Riggs, you know that by pleading guilty, sir, you are waiving or giving up your right to a trial. Is that correct?
Y'all like to take the deal I was offered by my attorney. I want to cooperate anywhere I can.
Okay,
I'm
sir.
gonna put this behind me.
Thank you, Mr. Riggs. Please raise your right hand, sir, and be sworn. You swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth to the best of your knowledge and belief.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Riggs, on the date, the time, and the location indicated in the ticket ending in 65921, did you offer money or something else of value to
Yes.
what turned out to be an undercover officer,
Yes.
rather, for a sexual act?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Riggs. Mr. Riggs, you're so anxious, sir. You want to answer the question before I even ask it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to put this behind me, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
All
I
right.
apologize.
And
Okay.
Your Honor, the people do stipulate to the face of the ticket for purposes of the factual basis.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. Are you satisfied, Mr. Clayton, with the fact?
Satisfied, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. And Officer Kalicki, if you'd like to leave the meeting, you may do so at this time. Thank you very much. Thank you much.
You're welcome, Your Honor. I also have another person as well. I have Sean Robertson.
Oh, okay.
And
So
yes, Your Honor. Yep. If we could be placed in the meeting room.
all right. If Madam Clerk can do that for us while the court sentences Mr. Riggs. Mr. Riggs, we will accept the recommendation to amend the charge to disorderly conduct, which will avoid having the sex offense in your record. Under the following conditions, we are placing you on probation for a period of 6 months. In that time, sir, in that time frame, you must attend the misdemeanor morality program. It is a 1-day class. It's not even a day. I think it's an hour or 2. You must attend that class. You must have STD, HIV testing within 30 days. You will not have to tell this court what the results of that test are. But you should know whether you've been exposed to a sexually transmitted disease. I know you weren't in this case because it was a decoy, and
Mhm.
so nothing was consummated. But if you have ever done this before, you may have exposed yourself and you should know the results. So all you have to do is show this court that you took the test, not the results. And you can take that from your physician or from a health clinic, but you must show us within 30 days that you've taken that class. You also must have no other charges of this nature in the 60-day period. And sir, we are going to fine you $300. So
Okay.
if you complete successfully all the terms of your probation, at the end of 6 months, this case will be amended to disorderly conduct and closed. So
Okay.
that's the misdemeanor morality program, the STD test within 30 days, no new cases, and
For
no
the mis-
charges of
yeah,
this.
for the
Yes,
I'm sorry to interrupt. For the program, where do I go? Not like where do I go to? Like,
we'll give
is there
you
a
that
class like a
information.
place? Yeah.
We'll give you that
Okay.
information. And it's going to be online. So it'll
Okay.
be an online class. Anything else on behalf of your client, Attorney Clayton or Mr. Reed? We're going to
No,
give
Your
you
Honor.
an order. Were you able to give your information to the clerk when you checked in this morning, Mr. Riggs?
Mm-hmm.
You have your correct address and phone number?
Yes, 3033 Holcomb.
Well, you don't want to put,
HOLCOMB.
okay, you don't have to put it on the live stream because you don't want to
Okay.
get random phone calls from people.
All right, no problem.
All right, Madam Clerk, do you have all the information you need from Mr. Riggs to follow up on this?
Yes, we do, Your Honor.
Okay, if there are no other questions, then Mr. Clayton, Mr. Riggs, you may disconnect from the meeting. And you will get that order in writing.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right,
Thank
gentlemen.
you.
Thank you so much. Okay, Attorney Todd Lancott. Is your client ready, sir?
I believe so, Judge. I know he's been he zoomed on at 8:30.
And is that Mr. Diego Robertson?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Diego or Derek?
Diego.
All right, this is case number SP 121-85172, Diego Marcel Robertson. This is the date and time for final pretrial. The charge is carrying a concealed weapon while under the influence. Mr. Diego Robertson. If you're in the virtual courtroom, please say your name for the record.
Diego Marcel Robertson.
Thank you. And who's representing Mr. Robertson?
And good morning, Your Honor. Todd Lantott appearing on behalf of Diego Robertson.
Mr. Lancock, how are we proceeding with Mr. Robertson today?
Your Honor, I was not able to speak to a prosecutor to attempt a resolution. This is a state case, and we are just going to opt to set this for a trial at this time.
Right.
Madam Clerk provided us a trial date of July 8th at 8:30 a.m.
Okay, and is that going to be a bench trial, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Robertson has waived his right to a jury trial, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, then, Mr. Robertson, we will continue a not guilty plea for you. Your trial date, your bench trial date is July 8th, 2022, 8:30 in the morning. It will be a Zoom connection as of this date. And the same way that you dialed in this morning, sir, you will dial in on July the 8th at 8:30 in the morning. And we will give you personal bond, continue your personal bond, so you don't have to pay any money, but you must return on July the 8th. Any questions, Mr. Robertson?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Lancock?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Madam Prosecutor, this is a state case, so you're not involved in this matter, right?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so we will excuse you at this time, Mr. Robertson, Mr. Lancott, unless you have questions for me.
No, thank you, Your Honor. Have a great day.
Thank you. Thank you both. Thank you for your patience. You may disconnect from the hearing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Ms. Horn, is there anyone else you have ready?
Mr. Zaranek, I sent you a chat on Sean Robertson.
Right, we'll check it out.
Is that Officer Kalicki's other matter?
It is. Judge.
Yes, Your Honor, yes.
Okay,
All right, I can
Leave
talk
the
to
live
him and see. I don't know.
you have to talk to him?
Yes, please.
Okay, so